Alright guys, the last two litters have been kindled. I said when they got here I'd update you. So let's take a real quick look. I always say I'm going to do this quickly and I never do. But it is cold. It's 30 degrees today. It's quite a bit of warm up. These guys were kindled yesterday. And when I woke up it was 0 degrees. And she kindled 6. This is Paprika's litter. And this was an experimental breeding. I had bred her to a black buck. The black buck has a blue sire and a broken black dam. And then of course Paprika is a broken red doe. Her sire was a broken red buck. And dam was a broken steel. Now all these guys are dark. I'm really excited to see what color they might be. They could be black. They kind of look like they might be blue. I doubt it. I very seriously doubt blue. I figure they're probably going to end up being steel or possibly a copper. But I'm guessing steel. That's the guess I'm going with. And she had 4 solids and 2 beautifully marked brokens. I'm hoping to keep the best doe out of this litter no matter what color they are, because we'll breed them back and get the colors that we want. So I'll keep the best doe, and if one of the brokens is a really nice buck I might keep that as well. Alright, that's Paprika's, and these were kindled yesterday so they're a day old. Let's keep moving on. I'll put that up in a short bit. Over here we have Harmony. Hers are days old now, and they are beginning to open their eyes. If you remember, she had 7, lost 1, and she has raised 6. And some of these guys are dark, and some of them aren't so dark. And then she's got the heavy brokens in here also. 2 heavy brokens, I believe. Yeah. They don't like coming out of their hole. They keep crawling back in there. They said it's too cold to be out. Leave me alone. They want to stay in that hole. Here's one of the heavy brokens. Quite a bit of color there. Ended up with a little more white than what I predicted, but I think it's still going to be too heavy to show. We'll see. And then here's the other heavy broken, and it's the same thing. It's a little more white than what I thought, but I think it's still going to be too heavy. Those probably end up being meat bunnies. Next to Harmony we have Marble. Marble kindled 7, and she's raising 6. She lost 1 at day 3. Let's see. She's the one that has the 1 heavy broken. That one's good color on that little guy though. And then there's a red. Again, they're climbing in the hole. I'm having a hard time showing you. There's another red. Here's one of the beautifully marked reds, and look at the nose. Nice nose markings. Beautiful markings on that little rabbit. I sure hope it ends up with good type. And there's a red. That one's got its eyes open or starting. Kind of light in color, but it's just a baby. It's going to darken up. Usually my babies are a lot darker than that, or lighter than this. And there's her heavy broken. I think I already showed you. I keep crawling back. And then there's the second really nice broken. It's got nose markings as well. And real good pattern on its back. These guys don't like being out of those holes. They want to stay where it's warm and furry. Alright, let's keep moving. And then over here we have Eureka. And Eureka, so far, is the only one. She's kindled 7, and she still has all 7 of hers. She's the only one that didn't lose one. We had 2 that lost one at, it was just DOA. And then we had 2 that lost one on the 3rd day. And then, if you remember, Salt had one, which was a true peanut. I told you was very, very small and I didn't think would survive. That thing lived for 10 days. Oh, boogers fast. All of Eureka's here are solid red. Anyway, that little peanut of Salt's lived for 10 days. And finally gave up the ghost, and in 10 days it never grew. Not one bit. So, and these guys are 11 days old here. And Eureka, I cannot keep hay in her nest box. She keeps throwing it out, but they're staying warm. They're still making it. And then here's Salt. She kindled 10. One was DOA, and then we lost the peanut. So she's raising 8. And she's doing a very good job. You'll have to look at these fellas. Look how fat these little boogers are. Remember, these guys are just 11 days old. Just fat little boogers. Like popcorn. Boy, they're fast. Can't hardly keep a hold of them. Now, I may not pull all these out. There's so many of them, I can't keep up with them. They keep getting back in there. They're starting to open their eyes as well. Very, very nice. All of them are fat. We lost the one peanut yesterday, and then the rest of these guys are just very, very fat. Fat, happy, and warm. Right now they're not. Oh, that one's got both its eyes open. Yeah. These guys do not want out of their holes. Crawling in faster than I can pull them out for you. Alright, we'll put them back and leave them alone. Oh, had one stuck in the hay. Alright. Now they're all back in their hole. Cover them up. And we have Carway. She kindled 9 and still has 9. These guys are 3 days old. And the strange thing, somewhere in her bloodline, there has to be a white. I have bred her, I've had Carway 3 years now, and I've bred her multiple times to a red buck, and always got solid reds out of them. If I bred her to a broken, we usually got some reds and some brokens. If I bred her to a white, we got white and chestnuts. I had kept one of her red sons from last spring, and I had bred her back to her son. I think this one right here might be a peanut. It's 3 days old and it's smaller than the other ones. I don't think it's growing. I think it's a peanut, and I think we'll probably end up losing it. In a day or two. If it's still not growing, I'll probably just call it. Let her save that milk for ones that will survive. Anyway, I kept one of her red sons from her spring litter and bred her back to him before I sold him. And this is the first time ever I bred her to a red buck. Neither have white in the pedigrees, but it has to be in the bloodline somewhere, because she ended up with 5 red and looks to me 4 white. I was not expecting any white in this litter. So somewhere there's some white in that pedigree, and it didn't show up until we doubled the genes by breeding her back to her son. Those reds look a little light to me. We'll see how they turn out. If we have any that's very typey, I'll keep it and breed it back to a red and get the color back. Or that chestnut over there. That chestnut buck, I learned, when I talked to y'all, I told y'all I kept him because he was more of a coppery red. Well, as it turned out, he is actually called a copper instead of a chestnut. So that was an interesting little fact that I was unaware of. This here is Snowball, and she kindled 8, and she still has 7. One was DOA. They're just growing like weeds. She's doing a very good job for a first-time mom. These babies are just fat and plump, almost as plump as Salt's. And Salt has multiple litters under her. So Snowball's doing just as good as Salt, and Snowball's first-time mom. Alright, they're all going back to their holes. Alright guys, that's the update. We have all 7 litters here. Our smallest litter had 6, and that was the experimental breeding. Broken red to black, and hopefully in a few days we'll know what color those are. Thanks for watching. Until we speak again, God bless.